We are Odd Logic.
We are Odd Logic.
We are Odd Logic.
Alright, who do we have here?
Tom.
Molly. Molly's Midnight Villains.
Very cool. Thank you all for meeting with me today. Appreciate your time. So, tell me a little bit about the band, a little bit of history. Maybe tell me what the meaning of your name is, that sort of thing. How did it start?
It started with, Molly was playing solo, doing like a lot of covers and stuff, and I joined her for a couple sets doing that, and then we just kind of started writing songs together naturally, and we decided we needed a band name at that point, because it was a little bit more than just playing cover sets.
Yeah, we thought that maybe it should have my name in it just because, like, I had been playing as Molly Broadhurst, and so it was like, oh, this will transfer over. But once you start doing original music, it doesn't really transfer over with people.
Yeah, you lose the whole audience. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to start over fresh.
It makes sense though. I mean, Molly's Midnight Villains rolls off the tongue a lot easier. It's very catchy. It gets stuck in your head. I didn't forget it the first time I heard it. So. And I was blown away the first time I got to see you all play. It was amazing. I didn't expect that at all. Nick hired me for his album release show, and then
That was a good show.
I walk in and I'm like, am I going to like any of these bands? I don't know. This isn't really my scene. And then you all got on stage and I was like, whoa, okay, these are my people. I didn't expect this. And it was at that house show. Remember that house show?
Which one?
Remember the house down the street from where you live? Yeah, the show I shot. That's how I met them.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. Very cool. What bands were you covering, if you don't mind me asking? You don't have to name specific songs, just
Well,
curious.
it's all kinds of different stuff. I mean, I grew up playing, like, my dad is like a musician, and he played just a lot of like Grateful Dead and folk stuff from like the 60s and stuff like that.
So that's where that comes from.
Yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, I'm from a very folk background, and so, I was doing some of that stuff, but then I was also doing a bunch of stuff that I had liked in the 90s, and just, Counting Crows and stuff like that. So just all kinds of different stuff, and occasional stuff that nobody knew, like the Mountain Goats. But
Best ever death metal band out of Denton.
yeah,
It's the one song I know.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's where all the folk influence comes from. But then
Yeah.
Tom's sort of the metal side of things, and
Yeah.
Yeah. So we started mixing that stuff together. It took a while before it really formed into what it is now. It started out like, we had some songs that had sort of a witchy vibe, but some that were basically just folky, like love songs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like now it's definitely gotten to a point of like, I think of it as a couple of different things. I think of it as like, for one, a way to connect with my inner child, who is a creepy child. Who likes is always drawing like creatures that had like, claws and teeth and one eye and, all that kind of stuff, which is what my art is still, but physical art that I do, but
That's cool.
it's just, like writing about magic and witchcraft and werewolves and all that kind of stuff is, connecting with my inner child, but it's also like connecting with like an actual practice of witchcraft of like, sort of the universe and a deeper cosmic thing, which is like more of a current thing for me, not something that I was actually actively doing for most of my life up until pretty recently, last several years, so. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. What so I'm curious, Tom, what are some of the metal influences? Because I heard the other side of things. I'm kind of curious as to what you brought, because the first time I met you, you were wearing, was it a Cryptic shirt? I know you were wearing a Cryptic shirt this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a couple of Cryptic shirts, so probably.
Because I thought I noticed a Merciful Fate influence. I might have just been imagining
for sure.
that.
I'm really big on King Diamond and Annie O'Rourke's solos in particular.
Yeah, he's killer.
I love that, like, I don't know, the diminished stuff that I do. It's just kind of Ian Ham.
Kind of Merciful Fate, King Diamond, Black Dahlia Murder, maybe a little bit of Death when Andy LaRocque was in Death.
Oh yeah, that's probably my favorite album, Individual Thought Patterns. But
Great album.
Yeah. Yeah, I was into a lot of 80s, like Shredder guys, Marty Friedman.
Definitely comes across in your playing. For anybody that's watching this, if you've never seen them live, you absolutely should. But you're in for a treat, but you're also in for a surprise, because when you get up there, you hear like this amazing voice over here. You can't see my hand right here. I didn't do that very well. You hear this amazing voice in these acoustic guitars, and then out of nowhere, this dude rips a face melting metal solo, and I'm like, what the hell? Where am I?
Which is funny because a lot of people who hear us and they don't listen to metal, they're like, oh, it's like flamenco guitar, or something like that. They say, are you classically trained?
Yeah, people ask me if I'm classically trained.
Flamenco guitars, if it was satanic. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I have no training really of any sort.
I just like to shred.
Yeah.
But it's an acoustic guitar, so it confuses people.
Tom rips, and then you walk up to pay him a compliment. He's like, I like to play. It's very humble, very reserved, very quiet.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time playing, like trying to learn songs from bands I loved, Nile and Origin, and just, I don't know, getting like a couple bars in and giving up because it was just like so complicated, and there was a lot of stuff that I never really managed to pull off. But if you spend any time with that stuff at all, it still makes you a much better player, you know?
Well, absolutely, it challenges you.
Yeah.
Metal's just one of those genres, man. We're all overly critical of ourselves to the point where we push ourselves beyond normal limits.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Speaking of Nile, they just released that new single. I don't know if you heard it or not.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I feel like they're a band that just, they haven't missed for me since I was in high school, you know?
Yeah. Carl Sanders figured out the formula and has just continued to prove over time that dude's 61 years old and still putting out death metals that rip your face off. He just turned 61. Happy birthday, Carl Sanders.
They're one of the best bands I've seen live. I got to see them, it was shortly after I moved to the Louisville area, and like, I don't know, I didn't expect them to really pull everything off that tight, but you know, they were super duper tight.
You got George Class on the drum set, man.
Yeah.
Was that the show? I think my friend's Kerr opened that show. Was that the one you saw?
This was it must have been like 13, 14 years ago.
Yeah.
I saw them with Cryptic and Pathology. It was a great show.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
I missed. I had a chance to see Psychroptic, and I caught the last song. That was, who was it? That was Carcass back in 2009.
Oh, okay.
It was Carcass, Suicide Silence, Psychroptic. Arsis dropped off the tour because they broke up, which sucked. I had seen them before. I wanted to see them again.
Yeah.
And Samael played that show as well.
Oh, okay.
That was a killer lineup. But the one you just described sounds killer.
Yeah. It's good stuff. We don't get quite as much death metal through here as we used to, I feel like.
Yeah, Terry's kind of, for anybody that doesn't know, we have a local promoter named Terry Harper who brings a lot of shows through, but he's been focusing on other genres, trying to bring bigger acts, and then usually what he does is he kind of rides out the back of that. The success of that allows him, I hate to say it, but because of the location that we're in, just like you said, death metal doesn't come through here. Like the big death metal packages don't come through here very often anymore because of the fact Louisville's a little bit of a dead city. Like we do have a scene, don't get me wrong, those shows are packed, but it doesn't make as much money. It doesn't generate as much money.
Yeah.
So with the more popular groups, country, rock, rap, whatever he's bringing through, pop, and even the GCW show, which is a professional wrestling show, he's bringing to headliners, which I still think is insane. Through that, he can kind of, I guess it supplements, I guess what's his passion is bringing through the alternative side of music, like death metal and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That crypto show at Headliners, was it Headliners? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Yep.
awesome.
That was Kerr, Rita Viter,
Yes.
two great local bands that
Yeah,
everyone
which
should
we had just
listen
played
to.
with Kerr,
Yep.
like shortly before that in Danville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
And it was a metal festival, and we didn't know that ahead of time, and we just somehow got put on there.
Yeah,
And
so we
it was like a
opened
Halloween
up.
thing.
Yeah.
We opened up, we're like, we're not a metal band, but
Yeah, but you all fit the metal vibe.
and
Yeah.
people were,
Yeah,
Kerr was
I
like,
know.
that's metal.
I think people think that the metal scene is a bit closed-minded, but it's been proven time and time again we're not as closed-minded as people think.
Yeah. we go over better with metal crowds a lot of the time than like folk and bluegrass.
Yeah.
crowds.
Darker themes. Well, one thing that I appreciate is that there is I'm not going to call it, it's kind of metal infused folk around here, like Saddle of Southern Darkness.
Yeah.
They're friends of mine.
Yeah.
I just shot one of their shows recently, just some photos, and I'm going to go catch them at Muddy Roots if I can.
Yeah.
But like those, yeah, but those kinds of bands are popular around here. And then you got, was it the Pentagram String Band?
Oh, yeah.
Johnny Lawhorn. Yeah, I got to see them a while ago, and like that kind of music is kind of booming around here. I think you all would kill it with like Bridge City Centers if they were to come through here. You all would fit in perfectly with that. There's that scene, I guess, what do they call it? Not Southern Gothic, alternative.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that whole thing is blowing up right now, and it's really cool. I mean, you see a lot of the, I hate to say this, you see a lot of the rock bands that are fusing country and rap together, and even like breakdowns from like metalcore and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's kind of happening also in the metal scene a little bit, and I'm more into what's happening in the metal scene. And it's weirdly enough, my dad loves bluegrass. I hated it most of my life, but now as I'm getting older, I'm appreciating it. So
Yeah.
bands like you all, I'm not saying you're bluegrass,
Right.
but through your folk, your metal infused folk,
Yeah.
I suppose your darker folk, I guess,
Yeah.
goth folk, whatever you want to call it. I'm finding my genre of music. My connection to that sort of stuff is like pulling me in and making me appreciate it more. So I appreciate what you all do in music. So with all of that said, what do you have coming up? Is there anything exciting going on? Do we have an album on the horizon?
Not a full-length album.
Maybe an EP, some songs?
Yeah, we've got some songs
New
that
stuff.
we've written. We need to get back in the studio. But we've got a couple new ones we've been playing out. And,
Yeah, we're probably gonna, I think we'll probably either do an EP. We're just now figuring out whether we're gonna do an EP or just like singles, but we definitely are gonna be releasing some singles. We're also really excited about Dark Castle Fest.
Oh, yeah,
That's
Dark
gonna
Castle
be,
Fest,
That's
yeah.
gonna be super awesome in September, late
Yep.
September.
yeah.
Wish I was going.
Oh, you're not gonna make it.
No, when they announced the dates, my heart was broken because unfortunately I can't walk away from Gojira and Spirit Box.
Oh, man.
Little hard. It sucks because I want to see you all again, and Saddle of Southern Darkness are playing, and the Neuro Farm, my friends from LA, the Vampire Band. I love that band to death. They played last year, became very good friends with them, very awesome. They're playing. Dark Castle is awesome.
Yeah, our friend Iris Marlowe, she's like a dark country artist, and she's in Chicago, and we've played with her several times, and she's
Yeah.
coming down for Dark Castle.
That's awesome.
The Dead Speak, we've played with a bunch, we love them. And
Love the
they're
Dead
playing.
Speak.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So-
That's very your vibe.
Yeah. It's gonna be sick. I'm really stoked about Dark Castle, but
Yeah. We've
yeah.
got a lot of sort of regional shows, I guess, coming out this month where in
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis, Cincinnati, and Bloomington, stuff like that. So
Yeah, we're playing at Healer in Indianapolis. It's like a DIY art space venue that's like really strange and cool. It's very unique. I really love it.
Very your vibe.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really cool.
Every band I know that plays, I'm not going to call it niche music, it's not niche music, but when there's not a lot of it,
Right. Yeah.
the DIY art scenes are usually
Yes.
right where you belong.
Yeah.
We're all weird.
Yeah. Everybody's ready, to just experience some music. They're like, we're here for it, We're music fans, so.
Very cool.
you know.
Well, thank you all very much for meeting me today, allowing me to take some photos of you all and allowing me to interview you. I really appreciate your time and your
We really
effort.
appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Anytime. I love what you all do. I look forward to seeing what you do next. I have one last thing to ask, if you don't mind, if you could say it together. We are Odd Logic. That's all you have to say on 3. Are you ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
We are Odd Logic.
Thank you.